Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a Dowsing Rod session where I will be asking the rods questions that you guys have submitted to me. If you guys have questions that you want me to ask the rods, if you could submit them in the link in the description box, that would be super helpful for me. My backlog is huge. I also have a published blog on my website with all the list of questions that are asked and kind of where I'm at in asking those. So if you guys want to check it out to see when your question will be asked, that's kind of the place to go. So I'll link that up for you guys. Before we get started, if I ask questions about medical issues, I am not a medical professional. Please take these things with a grain of salt. Make sure you talk to your doctor. And also, the future is not set in stone. Free will exists so that you guys can choose what you want to do or don't want to do. So those choices can change the future outcomes. A really great example of this is just voting. If you change who you vote for, it could change the election. So, yeah, with that, I think that covers it. So, before we get into the questions, let's figure out who we're talking to. If you're with me and willing to answer some questions, could you cross the rods for yes? Thank you. Could you open wide for no? Thank you. Could you point to the direction of your energy? Thank you. Am I speaking with an ascended master? Yes, thank you. Am I speaking with Merlin tonight? No, thank you. Am I speaking with Aphrodite? Yes, thank you. She's a new entity that's come through for me recently, so I'm excited to have her here. Okay, let's get into the questions. Is it possible to manifest higher timelines while you're depressed? Yes, thank you. Is Project Bluebeam real? No answer. Is Project Bluebeam something that the government's going to implement? No, thank you. Is Project Bluebeam real in the sense that they could do it if they wanted to? Yes, thank you. Is Project Blue Book real? Yes, thank you. Is the published encyclopedia of aliens out of Project Blue Book, are all of those accurate depictions of different alien species? Yes, thank you. Is the War of Gog Magog mentioned in the Bible real? Yes, thank you. Is God external? Going with no answer. Does God exist both internally and externally from us? Yes, thank you. Are we soul particles of God? No answer. Uh, does God have a soul? Oh, thank you. Do our souls contain particles of God? Yes, thank you. Are we all one soul? No, thank you. Is a Sadguru an ascended master? One with like a half no. Uh, is he something close to an ascended master? Yes, thank you. Is he a god? No answer. Is he an archangel? No answer. Is Sadhguru a spirit guide? Yes, thank you. Is he something more than a spirit guide? Yes, thank you. Interesting. If you guys have ideas about what that might be, let me know because I don't know. uh, is Black Box or the Kaaba a source of evil in the world? No, thank you. Are Allah and Satan the same energy? No, thank you. Are Allah and Lucifer the same energy? No, thank you. Uh, is Elon Musk preparing the world for the Antichrist? No, thank you. Do we inherit karma from our parents? No, thank you. Is the Pope part of the elites? Yes, thank you. Is the information in birth chart astrology accurate? Yes, thank you. Did humans invent different languages? Yes, thank you. Is English a human invention? No, thank you. Interesting. Is English as we know it today an evolution that's been happening because of humans? Yes, thank you. Is Latin a human invention? No, thank you. Interesting. Um, is the lineage of the people of Judea from the Bible living today in Israel? Yes, thank you. Are the Jews the dynasty of the sons of Judah from the Bible? Yes, thank you. Is that like a half yes? No, okay, that's a full yes. Okay, thank you. Is Jerusalem a holy city? Yes, thank you. Is it true that a martyred Muslim gets 7 virgins in heaven? No, thank you. Is it true that a martyred Muslim receives 72 virgins after death? Yes, thank you. Is that because that's what they want? Yes, thank you. Does that impede on the free will of others? No, thank you. Will all humans experience a spiritual awakening at some point? No answer, thank you. Will all souls experience a spiritual awakening at some point? Yes, thank you. If you have acne on your face, does it indicate an internal problem in your soul that you are not taking care of? No, thank you. Is that more of like a not necessarily? Thank you. Can acne be a manifestation of soul issues? Yes, thank you. Do we have to work in the physical world to make a living? Yes, thank you. Will the world return to the way it was at the time of the Bible? No, thank you. Will the world ever go back to being like a time before? Like a half yes, half no. Thank you. Uh, interesting. I don't know what to make of that one. That's an interesting one. Okay. Does watching the news lower our frequency? Yes, thank you. Do wars lower our frequency? Yes, thank you. Do religions lower our frequencies? No, thank you. Does anger lower our frequency? No answer. Does that depend on if you're at a lower vibration than anger? Okay, let me rephrase. If you're at a vibration lower than anger, does anger raise your vibration? Yes, thank you. If you're at a vibration that's higher than anger, does anger lower your vibration? Yes, thank you. If our frequency is low, do we disconnect from the source? No, thank you. Is praying a prayer without understanding the words still considered a prayer? Yes, thank you. Does praying a prayer without understanding the words lower our frequency? No, thank you. Did God tell Noah to build the ark? Yes, thank you. Did Noah actually build an ark? Yes, thank you. Are the remains of Noah's Ark located on Mount Ararat? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Is the ego actually our character? No, thank you. Is the ego our obstacle in spiritual development? No, thank you. Did the cross symbolize something positive? Yes, thank you. Are rabbis holy? Yes, thank you. Are priests holy? Yes, thank you. Does holiness, is that equal to being spiritual? Oh, answer, thank you. Was the world created in 6 days? Yes and no, thank you. Was the earth created in 6 days? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Was the world also created in the blink of an eye? Yes, thank you. Is the blink of an eye a reference to time not being real? Yes, thank you. Is the world being created in, or the earth being created in 6 days, does that have to do with actual linear time that we experience? Yes, thank you. And both of those things are true. Yes, thank you. Is the movie Avatar actually a real world that exists on another planet in this physical dimension? Yes, thank you. Will the wars and natural disasters continue until there is an overall spiritual awakening? No, thank you. Will the wars and natural disasters continue? Yes, thank you. Does whether or not they happen have anything to do with spiritual development? No, thank you. Do you have to live by the 10 Commandments to be close to God? No, thank you. Did Moses receive the 10 Commandments from God? Yes, thank you. Are they generally a roughly moral code of goodness for folks to follow? Yes, thank you. Are there several ascended masters living in Iceland? No answer. Are we allowed to know? No, thank you. Can guardian angels control technology to send messages? Yes, thank you. Do dinosaur ghosts exist? Yes, thank you. Are dinosaur ghosts and elementals the same thing? No, thank you. Have I ever interacted with a dinosaur ghost? Yes, thank you. Interesting. Is Mecca the most holy place on earth because of the intensity with which people pray towards it? Yes, thank you. One kind of comment in this question is that I've asked this question before and that the Merlin said yes. So we're speaking with Aphrodite now. So Aphrodite, do you agree that Mecca is the most holy place on earth? Yes, thank you. Was Ra Uru Hu telling the truth about human design? Yes, thank you. Do pendulums connect to your spirit guides? Yes, thank you. Can Moldavite align you with your higher purpose? Yes, thank you. Does Ayurveda help individuals with complex trauma? Yes, thank you. Are we ever actually alone? No, thank you. Do left-handed people have different perceptions of the world compared with right-handed people? Yes, thank you. Do left-handed people have different abilities compared to right-handed people? Yes. And are both of those differences because of their left-handedness? It's like a half no. Is that accurate? Yes, thank you. Is that just because the dominance in their brain is different on average from right-handed folks? Yes, thank you. Are dogmen real? Going with a slow yes. Are dogmen different from werewolves? Yes, thank you. Are dogmen physical creatures that walk this earth? Yes, thank you. Did Lizzie Borden do it? No answer. Did Lizzie Borden murder that person? Yes, thank you. Did D.B. Cooper live after jumping from the plane? Yes, thank you. Did D.B. Cooper take on another identity and name after escaping from the airplane? Yes, thank you. Did D.B. Cooper get away with the money? Yes, thank you. Does being trans or transitioning help with your soul? Yes, thank you. And is that only applicable to folks that feel like they need to transition or are living in their own body? Yes, thank you. Sorry, trying to ask that sensitively. I apologize if I messed that up. That was not my intention. So, can practicing art heal us from within? Yes, thank you. Are narcissists and energy vampires the same thing? No, thank you. Do infants, toddlers, and young children have the ability to connect with those that have passed? Yes, thank you. Are millennials and younger generations here to disrupt the broken systems of power? No answer. Are millennials and younger generations going to change the systems because it's a different generation with different priorities? Yes, but kind of a slow yes, thank you. When a tree falls in a forest and nobody is around, does it really make a sound? Yes, thank you. And does passion exist? Yes, thank you. Does a human have predetermined passions that they will discover in their lifetime? Yes, interesting. Can you discover new passions that aren't predestined? Yes, thank you. Does CE5 really work? No answer. Do CE5 meditations really call aliens to come show themselves to you? Yes, thank you. Can alcoholism be cured with current treatments that exist on Earth right now? Yes, thank you. Has Lord Kalki already been born on Earth? No answer, thank you. Are we allowed to know for this one? No answer. Do you know? No. Okay, well, thank you. Is every soul allowed to stay in heaven if they choose to do so? Yes, thank you. Will the next mass extinction be caused by nuclear war? No, thank you. Were some of the Mayans physically transported on a spaceship to another location outside of Earth? Yes, thank you. Is it necessary to meditate to use the rods to answer questions? No answer. Can some people use the rods without meditating and still get answers? Yes, thank you. Does meditating help you get answers? Yes, thank you. Is Bill Gates buying land to ensure a leadership role in a new form of government? No answer. Is that one of the reasons he's buying land? Yes, thank you. Is that the only reason he's buying land? No, thank you. Do crystals have spirits? Yes, thank you. Does scalar energy really heal? Yes, thank you. Does Lockheed Martin have anti-gravity technology? Yes, thank you. Does Boeing have anti-gravity technology? No, thank you. Does Raytheon have anti-gravity technology? Yes, thank you. Alrighty, that is all the questions that I have for today. So if you guys have more to submit to me, please feel free to put them in the form I've linked down in the description box. And otherwise, I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one.